Hey guys, how's it going? Okay, finally a warm day. A warm day in November is definitely, those are hard to come by, but we've had a few more of them that I think we should have, but that's beside the point. Right now, it is time to get this thing prepped for the winter. And a lot of people have been asking me, what do I mean by getting it prepped for the winter? As you guys all know, this is my daily driver. I drive it back and forth to work. I drive it everywhere in town. You know, I drive it to pull trailers. I do work with it. I do everything with it. So um, that means I will be driving it throughout the winter. And like a lot of people do, they pull off their wheels and tires and put on their winter wheels and tires. Well, these are my all year round wheels and tires. I don't have a second set for the winter. I don't have a set of stock tires that I run during the winter, you know, because I kind of want the same look all year round, because I do daily drive this vehicle and I don't want to switch it up and make it look weird, you know, as a daily driver. So I have everything just is kept the same. Now I do get it prepped for the winter, and when I say get it prepped for the winter, I mean prep it to where all that salt, if we do get snow, the road salt's not going to stick to it everywhere. You know, it's not going to eat up all the cab corners and the rocker panels. I've been one of the very, very few lucky people that have been lucky enough not to have this cab corner rust out or anything on the bottom rust out on me. So sometimes I get a little bit of surface rust, but that's easy enough to clean off, you know, and fix. But I've been lucky enough not to have much of a rust issue. That being said, what I do for winter prep on this truck is, you know, I always hand wash it anyway. So if I'm not taking it to a pressure washer and pressure washing it off, I hand wash it. So what I'm going to do right now is my first step is going to be get some soap and water. And always use your 2-bucket method, guys. So always use your soapy bucket and your rinse bucket. That way you're not washing the same dirt back onto the truck that you just took off of it. So this is the best method to do a wash. A lot of people just use one bucket. And just imagine that one bucket, what you're doing is all the dirt that you're washing off of your truck or your car is going back into that bucket. So you're taking that sponge, putting it back on the truck, and just rubbing that dirt into your paint, causing fine scratches that you don't want. So wash bucket, rinse bucket. So you wash, then you rinse it off in that bucket, and then you put it back in the soap. So that's the best way to do that, as I've mentioned before. So I'll give it a good hand wash, and I'll wash everything, all the paint. I'll wash things underneath. I'll wash my traction bars. I'll wash my torsion bars, my kick plates. You know, I'll wash my leaf springs, my shocks, all that stuff. So pretty much anything you want cleaned, you know, just give it a good wash. So this will take me a little while to wash it, but I will do that. Then we'll move on to my next step. Alright, so once everything's washed and dried, I don't let it dry in the sun because I don't like water spots being baked onto the mirror or onto the mirrors and the windows and everything. So once everything's dried, what you want to do, the next step is get you a clay bar. And a clay bar, you can buy them pretty much from any auto parts store or you know, online, any detail store. Get you a clay bar and get you some spray wax. I'm using Eagle One spray wax right now, and what we're going to do is we're going to start panel by panel, and we're just going to spray it down and apparently drop our wax. We're going to start you know, clay barring this up. That way we get rid of any, you know, old wax. So we're going to get rid of the old wax, and we're going to get rid of anything that's stuck to the paint, like tree sap or dirt that's just stuck up on there and you can't get it off when you're washing it or anything. So it's always good to clay bar your vehicle before you wax it in the first place, because you get smooth down some of that rough stuff. If you go feel your vehicle's paint, and if it feels really rough, even after you just waxed it, it's because you need to clay bar it, because the clay bar literally pulls off anything that's dirty. So it pulls off that dirt and it packs it inside. So all the spray wax does is it lubricates it. That way it's not, you know, dry paint. Just kind of, you can't really glide it across the paint very well if it's dry. So you gotta spray wax it and then clay bar it and get rid of that old wax and everything. And after that, we'll move on to the next step. Alright, after you get it all clay barred, you can actually tell that there's a little bit more shine coming out because you've got rid of some of that dirt and stuff that's on there. So you take your microfiber towel and you've wiped off all that excess spray wax, and your vehicle's actually coming out nice and smooth and a lot shinier than it was before. So that's always a good sign. You may or may not notice a little bit more shine. That just kind of happens, you know, sometimes if you haven't clay barred it in a while. And for me, I haven't clay barred it for a couple months, so it's dulled up a little bit. And it is 20-year-old paint, so you know, that stuff happens. So my next step is I'm going to grab a paint sealer, and I use Killerwaxx products, as you guys know. I've done reviews on this stuff before, last year when actually I got this bottle. So this is usually like a once a year or once, you know, or twice a year thing. What it's called is KWS paint sealant, and essentially what it is, it's a hard coating of wax that you'll put on your vehicle just like regular wax, and it bonds with your clear coat. So once it bonds with your clear coat, all that dirt and grime and rolled salt and stuff like that that gets on your clear coat, you can take a pressure washer and you'll easily be able to spray it off. Last year, I believe I did a little review video in the car wash when I sprayed off all that road salt and that snow and all that dirt from you know, just driving around in it. So yeah, this stuff works really well. I'll post a link down below to the Killerwaxx page where you can actually buy your own. But I love this stuff. Like I said before, I only use Killerwaxx products anyway, so this is obviously, you know, what I'm going to use. McGuire's makes one. A bunch of other people out there make one, but I prefer Killerwaxx over anything. What it is just a liquid. So you're just going to use a little applicator pad. I like to use these little round things and apply it by hand just as you would wax. The only difference being is you have to wait 24 hours after you apply this so it seals with your clear coat. It'll bond with the clear coat. It takes you 24 hours to do, and after that 24 hours you can wax on top of it. So as much as you want to put a coat of wax on it, you know, in the same day, it's not a good idea to do so because it's going to mess up that sealer. So I'm going to put this stuff on there just like the wax, and then I'm going to wait 24 hours and you know, put a coat of wax over it. That way it gets ultimate protection. Wrap this up. Once you apply your sealant, you apply it just like wax. You put it on and you wipe it off with a microfiber towel. You'll end up noticing that your vehicle is actually a little bit more shiny, just as if, you know, wax was applied to it. And like I said, you want to wait 24 hours for it to bond with your clear coat, because it does take a little bit to bond with it. Then afterwards you can apply whatever wax you want to put on there. So that's what I usually do for my winter prep. After the sealant, you know, I'll wax it, give it a couple good coats of wax, and then just kind of go with it. And if the snow does hit, then I pressure wash it every week. You know, no matter if it's cold or not, you got to keep that undercarriage clean. You got to keep your body panels clean. And one more thing I did want to mention: if you guys have black painted wheels like I do, you could use the sealant on that as well, and you could wax those as well, and it works the same as it does if you're, you know, applying it to the body of your vehicle. So that's what I do, guys. Like I said, in the description box below, I'll provide a link to the Killerwaxx sealant and the Killerwaxx website, so you guys feel free to go on there and check it out, and tell them I sent you when you order. And you know, guys, get your vehicles ready for winter. So anyhow, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you later, guys. Have a good one.